everybody, this is Ginger and this is Ginger's Chat Show. It's Monday, April 29th, 2024. And as always, it's been a pretty stormy weekend. I know several other fellow creators down there in Oklahoma and parts of Texas had to deal with some of the tornado and straight line windstorms that have been happening. Um, One creator I have not heard from, which is Arms Family, and I have probably assumed that they probably don't have internet. Um, Town of Sulphur, which they live outside of, has been pretty badly damaged, pretty much, done in. Hi Nancy, good to see you. Um, and of course their warehouse was destroyed. Uh, they sell creators create merchandise to sell through YouTube to supplement their income and everything, and YouTube pays them to show have ads on their uh, shows and everything on their YouTube channels and help pay them. Well, with the arms now that I don't know how bad it is for them. Their farm is safe. Their farm outside of Sulphur is okay. They're safe. But their downtown warehouse and business has been, let's say it's not there. So my thoughts and prayers go out to those in Oklahoma, Iowa, and there's one other state that been hit with an outbreak, tornado outbreak. Storms like this, you're just sitting there just hoping and praying nobody gets hurt or killed, but unfortunately 4 people, including a baby, have been killed in Oklahoma. I think it's in the Sulphur area that got hit. Holden and Sulphur areas. Hi, Dorothy! How's Florida? How's the weather? So they're picking up the pieces now. Right? They're cleaning up, doing assessments, and of course the National Weather Services have teams out to assess the damage and how big the tornadoes were. So we'll just have to see, what the outcome is for that. They said it would probably take a week for them to go through all the communities that have been hit. Oklahoma's a good state. It doesn't take minutes to get to. It doesn't take miles to get to. Where you need to be in Oklahoma. It takes hours. They'll go by hours. They don't go by miles. Same way in Montana. Up here in the Pacific Northwest, we go by minutes. Here, like for example, from Lakewood to Seattle is about 45 minutes if the traffic's good. That's the big thing right there. Traffic's good. Now, of course, there's not much news going on today. The trial-wise, there's a couple of things that I guess they had to take care of the trial. Some of the smaller stuff. So there was no trial today on Monday. I guess for probably administrative stuff and everything. Trump lost out on. He was forced to submit to Judge Engoron on his. Hey, Curl! Yay! I'm up to 3. I want more. I want like 30. 300. Anyway, back with Trump. They really put a lot of restrictions in place. uh, with that company, and they told that company you have to follow these rules in New York, even though you don't do business in New York, you have to follow these rules. Midas Touch explains more of that, how that goes on. Oh, sorry. I, I got up at 6 o'clock yesterday morning, went to bed about 9:30 last night, and I'm still tired. Yeah, how it is when you're trying to establish a schedule and everything. Um, so that's what's going on there. Now, another thing, Walt Nocta uh, was told that he has to, um, he did not put in his argument why he should not be charged for whatever reason. It's kind of complicated. You'll have to listen to Midas Touch, Legal AF. Check there, and there's a video out today by Hot Takes by Michael Popak, and he explains how that works and what went on with NAFTA. But NAFTA was basically really covering up for Trump, or trying to cover up for Trump. So he's in deep doo-doo. So, if you break a very serious law like that, be prepared to go to jail. No. Trump is in such deep trouble, legal trouble, that, I think the guy should just drop the race. He did not campaign at all this week, except he posted a thing complaining about, I can't go out and campaign and this and that and the other. Yeah, he sits around at home, golfing or whatever and everything else. He acts like a little kid. And he's losing supporters big time. And there's a few diehards in there, but very, very small number. Even the RNC they basically lost a lot of money. Okay, the RNC had. They lost a lot of members. Longtime members have left the RNC, went to either be with the Democrats or independents, or chose to vote independent. And then the caucus, whatever they go with. But majority of those that left the RNC are going to be voting for President Biden. Now, there are some sit there and yell about Biden's age and everything else. I'm staying there laughing. I go, really? Look at Trump. They're close enough in age. Same thing, except Biden takes really super care of himself. He very knowledgeable. He gets a lot of help in the speeches and everything else. And sometimes he has speech he wrote himself, or he has a speechwriter that helps him with that. He has a very, very good team around him. I mean, an excellent team. So Biden works on these issues, and he puts like a priority on them, and there's some he does simultaneously, and there's some he does one after. When he's done with one, he works on the other. So there's that. Yeah, I know what you mean, Dorothy. Here, yesterday, here in the Pacific Northwest, it was up and down. Yeah, it warmed up 1 minute and then it got hot the next. And let's see. Oh, that's the Mariners. Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me check. Okay. For some reason, my temperature is not showing up. Let me check it. Let me see. Give you guys an example up here. Maybe my next question is, have any of you visited Western Washington. Have you ever been up here? You know, like visit like Seattle, Tacoma, get on the ferry, go up to Mount Rainier, that type of activities. Have you ever been up here? If you haven't, then I suggest you take a trip up here. There are a lot of small towns. There's some medium-sized towns. There's some good-sized cities. Um, Seattle's about 45 minutes from here, up north. Uh, they do have light rail, or starting to establish light rail here. Of course, there's a commuter train here that leaves Lakewood, goes up through Tacoma and up that way up to Seattle. Quite a majority of people do take the commuter train now. Just because of the gas, okay? There's some drawbacks, but you come home on the train, get in your car, and do your errands afterwards, then you're home, you know. But when you guys get a chance and get your shekels together, come up here and visit. Lakewood is a very, I would say it's a small town, a little bit bigger than Roy. I love small towns. I love small cities. I don't like big cities like Seattle. Okay. Tacoma's okay. Tacoma really hasn't grown it much anymore. And then of course there's Puyallup where I grew up. Puyallup used to be a small town. Not anymore. So, you know, if you get a chance to visit the Pacific Northwest, you'll love it up here. We're about 30 minutes from the mountains. You know, visit Rainier. We're about 30 minutes from Rainier. Rainier's that way. My apartment's east. It's that way. You can't see it now because of all the thunderclouds building up. But it is very, very nice up here. And we have beautiful springs. We have beautiful summers. Sometimes our summers get hot, but normally our summers we get like hot days, 3 days out of the summer. Just 3 days. Now last year was 4. Well, that was because of La Nina. And it was creating some havoc. Now they're saying that we're in a drought right now. Well, we did get some rain. So we'll just wait and see. And of course, we still have our snowpack up there. So because we got a lot of snow over the winter. So when you guys get a chance, come on up. People sort of don't invite people up here anymore. Or up here in Washington State. And I go, well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with seeing America? You know? The states that I've gone through Oregon and California a number of times. I've gone through New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, South Dakota, North Dakota, been through Montana. I've been in Florida. I've been to Eastern Florida, like Fort Lauderdale. I've been in Minneapolis, St. Paul for layover when I was flying home from my cruise. Oh yeah, Astoria is beautiful down there. If you like watching storms come in, then grab a coastal, if they don't close it, but if there's a coastal motel, you can watch the storm come in from sitting in your living room in a hotel off the coast, off the ocean. You can see the storm come in. But sometimes they've been closing them because sometimes the storms get really bad. They had to close down one called Olympic Hotel up in Olympic Peninsula, which is up in Hurricane Ridge. They had to close that one down because of some cliff deterioration there. So, um, let's see. See what now? Did we covered him? And you know, there's going to be a running joke during the trial that the butler did it. But actually, it's Trump and the butler did it. Won't say anything. Either NAFTA was so blind to Trump, what he's doing, or they just didn't care. Well, they're all ensnared on that because they're, you know, it depends on if they're in Trump's inner circle. But ultimately, Trump's gonna lose. He's gonna lose this case, the first case here. And he's gonna go to jail. Matter of fact, they should put him in jail right now just for contempt. Oh, yeah, there were a number of other contempt hearings this week, too. So, Trump had 11, according to Midas Touch, Trump has 11 contempt violations, gag order violations. And they just need to take off the kid gloves and throw the guy throw the guy in jail and keep him there until all the trials are done and convicted. And if he's convicted each one, they already got their guy. Okay. Trump should just drop the race. Because I'll bet you, also another real reason he didn't go campaigning this weekend, I'll bet you he doesn't have the money. I bet you he doesn't have the campaign money anymore, because most of the campaign money is going for paying for his lawyer fees. And I bet you he doesn't have any for his campaign at all. And of course, it's the state of New York having his assets frozen. Unless he gets permission from them to say, hey, I need to take this money out for such and such and such. They may or may not do it, but I think he should just give it up. And with him showing, you know, the old saying goes, a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? You could tell by his mannerism, you could tell by his speech and everything else, Trump is not all there. And when he's at the trial, which he was required to attend, his criminal trial, he of course sleeps and everything else. Where he should be actively participating in the trial and everything else. He's not going to win. Trump, I feel, with sleeping and everything else and staring, glaring, he's throwing a silent temper tantrum is what he's doing. He can't yell anything out loud, but he's basically throwing a silent temper tantrum. That's how I look at it. Okay? I don't know if any of you have served on a jury. I have a couple of times served on a jury. I've served on one in where I used to live, Roy, Washington, which is a tiny town, about the size of your town, Carol. Roy has, what do they say, 950? Just under 1,000. I don't know what the population is now in Roy, whether it's grown or it's shrunk. But I served on a jury. Well, of course, the jury pool there is pretty small, and there were like 12 of us there, and they said, they just swore us, they did not do any objection or anything else. The prosecutor or the defense lawyer did not to reject us or keep us or anything else. We were it. We were the jury. And so they swore us all in and they conducted the case. It was a traffic case and well, only one question that was asked by the prosecutor. They asked each question, and then of course the defense asked each question of the juries to the juries. And the prosecutor asked me, he said, well, were you around town when this happened? And I go, what day did this traffic incident happen? And he told me, I'd stop and think, oh, I believe we were out, we were down at Lake Mayfield camping. So we were gone that weekend. So I didn't know any of this occurred. And of course, you get either little or no news around Roy and Pierce County area. You really don't. The only news that we get is like, you know, state or local, like in Seattle, you know, Oklahoma news. Oh, just a minute. Pollen's count is high again. My nose itches really bad, like I thought I was going to sneeze again. But anyway, many of us wanted to find him guilty, and there's some that don't want to find him guilty. Well, it was basically a hung jury more than anything. I said, well, the guy did it. I mean, I wish there was more evidence to show whether he did do it or not. He apparently came into Roy. You go down the highway, and then there's several loopy-loops. There's one loop that goes around, and then there's a hairpin turn. Goes right around and in front of downtown Roy. Downtown Roy's on your left-hand side. Because on the other side is the railroad tracks. So in some ways I wish they had video cameras to show what he was doing. Because right now, at that time, it was all by word. And of course, this is back in the 1990s. So, not advanced like it is now. Anyway, Trump's trial will resume tomorrow. So we'll get more on what's going on and who they're going to call for the second witness or third witness. Because they already did two witnesses. And they're going to do a third. I think there's going to be another witness called. Now, as far as I know, Trump probably doesn't have any witnesses. His lawyers are having a hard time with him. Because he's refusing to follow the steps, if you will, in order for defense. Okay? So, he's going to lose. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I will post this video on my YouTube channel. Stay safe. Keep your eye to the sky. The storm system's not over yet. It's still doing what it's doing. So I think it probably moved east more than anything. So please take care. I love you, and I will post this on my YouTube channel. And be sure to insist, persist, and push back. Take care, okay? And feel free to share too, okay? Thank you so much. Talk to you later. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.